On May 20, 2026, Toyota quietly added another 44,000 model year 2024 Tundra trucks to the V35A engine recall, pushing the total vehicle count to nearly 270,000 units across 3 separate recall campaigns in less than 2 years. Toyota admitted that even with those added measures, debris is still slipping through and damaging the #1 main bearing. Read that line again, because it might be the most important sentence in this entire story. And that single admission, buried inside last week's NHTSA filing, blows the corporate cover story wide open. Toyota's legendary reliability isn't just failing, it's being staged. While thousands of Tundra engines seize, the company claims manufacturing debris is the culprit. But the truth is far more calculated. This isn't a simple factory mistake. It's a multi-billion-dollar masterclass in narrative control. If you own a 2022 through 2025 Tundra Sequoia or Lexus LX or GX with the V35A engine, the story you've been told was written by Toyota's lawyers and PR team, not by their engineers. I'm going to walk you through exactly how that story was built and what it's costing you every single day. This is data pulled directly from NHTSA recall filings, independent engine teardowns, and class action discovery documents. Let's start with the precision of this crisis because that's the part that should make every Tundra owner pause. The V35 twin-turbo V6 was supposed to be the replacement for the bulletproof 5.7-liter I-Force V8, a motor that ran for nearly 2 decades without a single major engine recall. Toyota told America this new engine would be quieter and more powerful. Then the failures started and they didn't trickle in. They hit in a wave. Brand new 2022 and 2023 Tundras started seizing. Owners reported knocking sounds at cold start, sudden loss of power, and crankshafts that locked up so hard the trucks coasted to a stop. By the time the first recall hit in May 2024, Toyota had already received over 800 warranty claims. By October 2025, those numbers had ballooned to 2,604 warranty claims, and the NHTSA database held over 3,000 owner submissions. That is the failure pattern of a brand new platform that was rushed into production. And the way Toyota explained it, that the failures were caused by microscopic metal shavings, is a suspiciously convenient corporate explanation. Toyota claims during machining, tiny chips called swarf were not cleaned out. They claim those chips got picked up by the oil system. On the surface, it sounds plausible. Metal debris genuinely can destroy bearings, but the framing does something very specific. It implies a temporary cleanliness lapse in a specific factory, not a permanent design problem. That distinction is everything. A cleanliness lapse can be cordoned off, blamed on a wash bay, and erased with a one-time fix. A design flaw lives inside every engine ever produced on that architecture, and it can't be cleaned away no matter how many short blocks Toyota swaps in. By framing this as debris, Toyota told the public, told used buyers, told lenders, and told insurance companies that the V35A engine itself is fine. The implication is that once your engine is replaced, you're back to a normal Toyota that will run forever. That single piece of framing is what allowed Toyota to avoid the kind of brand-collapsing headlines that hit Hyundai during the Theta 2 engine crisis. And it diverted public attention away from the much more uncomfortable questions about the twin-turbo V6 architecture itself, the bearing tolerances, the oil weight specification, and whether this engine was ever durable enough for full-size truck duty in the first place. That brings us to the real motive, which is protecting the resale fortress. The Toyota Tundra sits in the top 10 vehicles in America for value retention at the 5- and 7-year mark. That ranking is not decorative. It is worth billions of dollars to Toyota Motor North America every single year. High residuals let Toyota offer lower lease payments than competitors. They let dealers move trade-ins faster, with bigger margins. If Toyota had labeled the V35A failures a design defect, every one of those financial pillars would have cracked simultaneously. Instead, by calling it debris and pairing that with a free engine replacement, Toyota stabilized the used market almost immediately. The message was simple. The bad batches have been identified and purged. The legacy is intact. That message saved Toyota an estimated $3 to $5 billion in brand loyalty and residual losses. The recall wasn't just a fix. It was a financial firewall. Now look at the engineering red flags. In late 2025, an independent specialist opened this engine. The top end was nearly pristine. The camshafts and timing components were clean. Then he pulled the bed plate, and the lower end told a different story. 2 of the 4 main bearings were spun in their saddles, with heat damage, scoring, and metal transfer onto the crankshaft. The oil pan was full of silvery metallic flakes. But the rod bearings on the same crankshaft were essentially clean. He called the debris explanation total BS. Debris cannot selectively destroy 4 main bearings while leaving 12 rod bearings pristine. That points to a localized failure mode: bearing tolerance, oiling pressure, or thermal load under twin turbo boost. The issue is the way the engine was designed, not the way it was cleaned. Here is why the second recall should terrify any owner. Toyota admitted they do not know how many engines contain debris and pushed the remedy date back to late 2026. A company 4 years into the problem is still without a working fix. Replacement engines are already failing in the field. If the debris was the real problem, why is a freshly built engine block still showing the same failure signatures? The answer is you can't clean your way out of a design problem. Toyota is caught between 2 terrible outcomes. Admitting a design flaw triggers an expanded recall costing up to $10 billion. So Toyota is gambling. They hope the debris story holds long enough for trucks to age out of warranty. It is a dangerous corporate bet. The Tundra is hemorrhaging buyers while Toyota tells the public everything is fine. Is brand loyalty worth this financial risk? Drop your story in the comments. The more we record, the harder it gets to call this a debris problem.